if you guys see this out in the wild, if you see somebody like claiming that losing weight is following the standards of pedophiles, like definitely call them out, call them stupid, embarrass them, create a reel, reply back to the comment and be like, this is inappropriate, offensive, and wrong. Because first of all, doesn't it feel like a trend? Like I feel like out of nowhere, 2026, January 1st, everybody was like,
let's start this rumor
that pedophiles created the beauty standard for like women to be in smaller bodies.
I wanna tell you that I love you.
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning, good morrow, and good day. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider giving me a subscribe and go ahead and like the video because we know you're going to like the video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're returning but you're not subscribed, subscribe. Okay? Today's episode, we're going to be doing another Fatlogical Friday. Cue the song. It's Fatlogical Friday. It's Fatlogical Friday. It's Fatlogical Friday. Be-la-loo-lee-la. Gosh, I love that, don't you? I hope I'm in your ears all day with that bad boy. So today we are going to be chitting and chatting and talking a little bit of trash about things that we find on the subreddit Fatlogic. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what Fatlogic is anything that deviates from the scientific facts of body weight management. This can range from fundamental misunderstandings of how biology and physics work to lengthy political diatribes about how everything is society's fault. Falling victim to Fatlogic means accepting misinformation that will harm efforts to keep your body at a healthy weight or lose weight if you need to do so. So do. So these are Fatlogical takes that are found in the wild that Redditors will place onto the internet for me to read and chit and chat and talk some trash about. And I'm very excited for today's episode. Tell me why. Why? No particular reason except that we're hanging out and chilling because we're homies. Okay? Let's get into it. All right, so here is the Fatlogic. I keep wanting to call it Fatlogic. Maybe we will. It is that now. Fatlogic page on Reddit. See, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of stuff to go through. So let's just begin. I've got it set to new. The first one, this rhetoric would work if American children weren't only getting fatter. So yes, American children, super duper fat. I think it's like quadrupled since the 90s. That's a very, very large number. Let's double check. Okay, so worldwide, adult obesity has more than doubled since 1990, and adolescent obesity has quadrupled. So I think I read somewhere as well, I'll try to get a clip if I can find it. In the 1970s, I think 5 children were obese or overweight. 5. Only 5 children. Only 5 kids, and now it's a billion. No, 5% of children were overweight or 5% of children were overweight or obese, and now it's 20%. So, is it quadruple? Has it quadrupled from the 90s, or has it quadrupled from the 70s? This is the World Health Organization. Let's go ahead and say quadrupled since the 90s because that's banana bonkers. In 2024, 35 million children under the age of 5 were overweight. Over 390 million children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 were overweight in 2022, including 160 million who were living with obesity. Gosh dang. All right, the prevalence of children overweight, including obesity among children and adolescents aged 5 to 19, has risen dramatically from just 8% in 1990 to 20% in 2022. Okay, this is from the National Library of Medicine. This characteristic. The increase in obesity. The increase of obesity prevalence has been particularly striking since the 1970s. The obesity affects both boys and girls, has occurred all age, race, and ethnic groups throughout the United States. In the nearly 30 years between 1971 to 1999-ish, there's a range, but it's weird. Okay. The prevalence of childhood obesity more than doubled for youth aged 12 to 19 from 6.1% to 15.5%. And more than tripled for children aged 6 to 11 4% to 15.3%. Even for preschool children aged 2 to 5 years, the prevalence has also more than doubled. Wow, you guys, there's a problem. All right, let's read this Fatlogical take. Sorry, we had to take a little break and make sure that we're getting our facts straight. Remember, they want us carving because they like us to look like little girls. And too weak and tired to fight back. So these are two of the worst takes I've ever come across in the fat acceptance community. The first one being that people want to be in thinner bodies. People want to be in thinner bodies because that is a beauty standard that is set up by PDF files, which is one, wrong, two, incredibly offensive to actual victims of CSA. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. PDF files aren't looking for adult women. They are looking for actual children, and it's not even more like a look thing, it's more like a control thing. And there are children out there there are obese children out there that experience CSA. There are, that type of schmuse, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that this early in the game, is not discriminatory of your body size. It is more like some kind of a monster is looking for somebody to control and take advantage of. So ew. And what's even more disgusting to me is like it reads like this in my brain. This is just how my brain goes. Okay, it reads like this: you are so addicted to food that you don't even think about other people when you say things like that. You want to eat that bad. You want to stay fat that bad that you don't really. Do you really think that? Do you really think that if you lose 100 pounds, you're 300 pounds, if you lose 100 pounds and you're 200 pounds, that you are for some reason falling into the grips of PDF files? Be for fucking real. Be for real. Be for real. And too weak and tired to fight back. Literally, if you think back to any time a nation or a country, I'm thinking French Revolution, has fought back towards the powers that be, fought back against the powers that be, they are usually hungry. They are usually like, I'm tired of starving. Like, I'm tired of being hungry. Let's get this person out of the seat, basically. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you're hungry, you fight a little harder. Whereas the person who is, when I was over 200 pounds, I was lazy as hell. That's what got me there, right? Right?
Right.
Too weak and tired to fight back. Literally was the most weak and tired of my life when I was obese. But I also have Hashimoto, so maybe I wouldn't be great for like the revolution, you guys. Don't pick me when it's time, okay? If it ever gets there, hypothetically and joking around speaking, not talking about, anything like that, right? This is just a joke. I'm just a jokester. I don't condone violence, but too weak and too tired. A person who is not 200 pounds is not going to be too weak and too tired to fight back. I'm not even asking people to just be skinny. I'm asking people to just, stop spreading misinformation about fat acceptance and don't be diabetic. Don't be a type 2 diabetic at your own, volition. This isn't making the point they think it is. This post is a metaphor.
Stinking metaphors!
Oh my god, did you get a haircut recently? I love your hair. That looks so much better short. What barber did you go to? Oh, you lost it because you were sick? Oh, well, your hair does still look good though. Hey, did your hair grow any longer recently? I'm just a little concerned for your health. Is all. The Democratic vote is...
The Democratic vote for me is right thing to do, Philadelphia. Taxes, they'll be lower. Son.
Hey, did your hair grow any longer recently? I'm just a little concerned for your health is all. Hair that long is bad for you, Hey, have you seen this new hair loss treatment? I tried it out and it worked so well for me. Huh? You don't want shorter hair? But come on. Do you see any models on TV with hair as long as yours? You just have way too much hair in your head. You little plus wigged fluffball, try the supplement. Okay. Oh my god. You guys, I think that anybody on Tumblr right now, if you're seriously posting on Tumblr, like, stop. I guess I was there before. It was like a diary for me, but this is really like people are seeing this and it's on Fatlogic and it's on the channel. I would love to have alopecia. What the fuck? Being bald just seems so appealing. People with long hair don't deserve to live, but also I have a fetish for them. I love seeing people get humiliated for how long their hair gets, etc. Okay. So yes, clearly a metaphor. They believe that these can all be equated to what's happening with fat people. So, hey, did you get a haircut recently? Did you lose weight recently? Oh, you lost weight because you're sick? So sorry. Hey, did your hair grow any longer recently? I'm worried about you. Hey, you getting a little fat and I'm worried about you. Have you seen this new hair loss supplement? I tried it out and it worked so well. You don't want shorter hair? Hey, have you seen this GLP-1 medication I'm taking? It is working so well because I'm so skinty. Oh, you don't want to be skinty also? You don't want this GLP-1? This part though, come on. Do you see any models on TV with hair as long as yours? I really don't think that anybody who's taking their weight loss journey seriously or on a weight loss journey is really I mean, there are some people on here who might be comparing themselves to models. I'm not going to. That just is, I'm 35 years old. You know what I mean? Don't compare yourself to models. They're not real. They're not. They're robots, okay? Um Nobody is comparing them, like nobody's going like you should lose weight because the models on TV are losing weight. Like we all know that they're not real. If your job is to be a model, like okay, do what you can, whatever, yada yada yada, get your bag or whatever, right? But you're not a model. You're a regular person, and all I care about is that you are healthy. As healthier than where you're at now. So if you are morbidly obese, you drop a couple hunch, right? Drop like 50 pounds and you'll feel better. Because I haven't even hit 50 pounds and I feel way better than I did when I was 222 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I would love having alopecia. Being bald just seems so appealing. So I actually, when I was like really unhealthy mentally, well, I still am, but that's like chemical. But when I was like in the depths of like unhealthy thoughts regarding my weight, etc., read the room. I can relate to that. Like I actually thought, oh man, wouldn't it be nice? I might cut that. I might keep that in though. Let's be real with each other. We're best friends. So all right, people with long hair don't deserve to live. Nobody's ever said that about fat people. I don't ever think that at all. I think everybody deserves to live. That's why I'm even on here to tell y'all like, hey, obesity, the fat acceptance community is lying to you. Wake up. Although, are fat acceptance people watching this? Were you guys watching this? Let me know in the comments. Were you guys ever fat acceptance? And then what was the moment that you were like, let me just check out what these people are doing? You know, the anti-fat acceptance. Let's watch an anti-fat acceptance video. What made you dip your toe into anti-fat acceptance? For me, I think I always kind of knew that like fat acceptance was not the way, right? I always was like on a health journey because being obese hit me younger than a lot of people. Like some people can be in their 30s and be perfectly fine, no diabetes or anything with obesity. Not me. I got it pretty quick, but I think it's also because I have Hashimoto's and PCOS. But what made you come to the dark side of anti-fat acceptance? Let us know in the comments below. We are very interested to find out, what were you doing? Do you remember the day? Do you remember the time we I think the first time that I feel like maybe like the first couple videos that I watched were like cowboy. I just call them cowboy. I just call cowboy cowboy chron. Oh, the first time I wasn't really looking. Maybe I was watching like fat acceptance cringe or something like that. But I was getting recommendations for Cowboy Chronicles. Hi, baby girl, and Funty Times and Nadia Nymph. And I don't think that I feel like I saw Cowboy Chronicles. Is it Cowboy Chronicles? It's been so long, and I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, and I'm drinking 2 caffeinated beverages. Me like it though. All right, fat acceptance. Oh, fat activists and thinking they're oppressed like Black people are. Imagine putting the blame on oppressed for being oppressed. Imagine if somebody was advertising skin whitening products for Black people, and the reasons were fewer employment opportunities and social discrimination. What the hell? Bro, being Black is definitely not a choice, but a lot of the times being overweight or obese is an active choice in nutrition and lifestyle. Why the fuck are you protecting this? Being fat is a choice. Being black is not. You can choose to be healthy. You cannot choose what your skin tone is. This makes no sense. Absolutely. They said it exactly how I would have been thinking it. So yeah. The fat acceptance community likes to co-opt particular groups and use their language or use their oppression and claim it as their own, or like claim that the same exact type of oppressions are happening to them. So I'm going to bring up a couple. So we've got fat phobia, which is just a co-option of, is that the word, co-option? A co-opting of the term homophobia. So they want the same exact like emotional response when you call somebody a homophobe. They want that type of response as when you call them a fat phobe. So they're not really thinking like you are afraid of fat people. They want you to feel like being fat phobic is like a form of hatred against somebody who can't really change anything. Do you know what I mean? But like being fat and being obese is a changeable trait that somebody can have. You can change that. You can go and it is a choice. People are like, it's not a choice. I didn't choose to be this way. Like, well, what are you eating? And how much and how often? I think Americans eat way too much, way too often. And, yeah, sure. I have PCOS and Hashimoto's. It is extreme. It's like pulling teeth to get me out of the 170s. You guys, I am having a hard time. It's not even the 170s. It's like I want to call it the late 170s. It's like from 175 to 180. It's like, can't. What are we doing? How? Why? But that's between me and myself. But I'm not gaining, so that's what's important. But anyway, yeah, you make choices to be in an obese body. You don't make choices to be gay or part of the LGBTQIA community. Same for using the oppression terminology that is used. Is that the right word? Like the language of racial prejudice to like frame obesity discrimination as like equivalent to racial discrimination, which is wrong because again, obesity is a changeable trait. Race is not. You can't just like go on a race diet. You can't. Oh, what's another one that they do? What is another one? Oh, the disability thing. Girl. I mean, technically, some of them do eat themselves to disability, and they're like, okay, yeah, they are disabled. Whatever. Do you deserve access to things when you are actually disabled? Sure. However, do I think it's nice to do that? No, you're taking advantage of like people who actually are disabled. And you're like, how am I taking advantage of that? You are taking opportunities like disabled parking or disabled funding, right? For something that could have been you're taking away funding from somebody who actually needs it because you didn't want to stop eating or working, right? Right. What is another thing too? And then when you bring that up, they're like, well, what about if somebody wanted to cut their legs off? They would be disabled and they would be self-inflicted. And it's like, okay, but like that, do you know anybody that's cut their legs off? I think I've heard of like 2 people who accidentally had their legs cut off because they like tried to end things and go in front of a train. Don't do that. But I feel like that's not the same as eating yourself into disability. Also, like, I know like 100 fat people. I don't know anybody who's missing any legs self-inflictedly. Okay, I don't know. They always do that too. It's like you call out something and they're like, well, what about this particular outlier? Like, we're not talking about them. And that happens too when you talk about weight loss. You're like, well, I have something that makes me gain weight, water weight, a ton of water weight, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, we're not talking about you. You can't lose water weight by cutting calories, okay? You can't. You're in heart failure. You're not. Why are you on TV? You should be laying down and being with your family if you are, I don't know. I'm not the best, I'm just chitting and I'm chatting and I'm talking a lot of trash.
I'm the trash man.
I hate this real women have curves rhetoric. This is a tough time for women. Those are PDF, ILIC, beauty standards. Grown, healthy women have curves. So bodies come in different shapes and sizes. There are women who do not have curves, and that doesn't make them any less or any more women. Having curves does not make you any less or any more woman, right? And then they're talking about like women have curves, and then it's like fucking Tess Holiday, and it's like you have too many curves. That's too much. You shouldn't have curves on your legs like that. Your arm, your arm, your arm is the size of, I would say your arm is the size of a child. But yeah, the whole PDF file thing is like, I think anytime that we see this, if you see this in the pub, and if you guys see this in public, I definitely think that, like, if you guys see this out in the wild, if you see somebody like claiming that losing weight is following the standards of PDF files, like, definitely call them out, call them stupid, embarrass them, you know, create a reel, reply back to the comment and be like, this is inappropriate, offensive, and wrong. Because first of all, doesn't it feel like a trend? Like, I feel like out of nowhere, 2026, January 1st, everybody was like,
Let's start this rumor.
that PDF files created the beauty standard for like women to be in smaller bodies. And like the crazy thing is beauty standards are regional. So like the beauty standard where I'm at, I'm in the South, is definitely different than the beauty standard up in New York City. Even in the same state, the beauty standard here in Central Florida, totally different than the beauty standard down in Miami. Like Miami, it's like big booty. You know, I mean, I think big booty is probably everywhere. I think everybody can appreciate nice big booties. But like big booty, big boobies, teeny tiny waist, like plastic surgery stuff down in Miami, right? Some plastic surgery. Some people are very blessed, okay? And then here in Central Florida, we don't have a lot of options. I was going to make a toothless joke, but you might know where I'm at if I say that. But anyway, no teeth. Very, very skinny, but it's usually from meth. I'm just kidding. No, so like here in Central Florida, it is such a melting pot down here that like it even becomes a little sub region of where you're at, which county you're in, or like what your cultural preferences are. So like read that how you may. What I will say though is that the beauty standard is actually curve right now. I don't think the beauty standard is be so thin that you might be mistaken for a child. I really don't think so. I don't know who's getting this. Where are you getting that women are wanting to be so thin that they could be mistaken for a child? Because again, PDFs don't want actual women. They want somebody who can be controlled and be taken advantage of. Okay? Like, be fucking smart. Be smart. All right, who is lying to this person? You're not even that big. Exactly. I'm in a mid-sized body and I experience medical and structural fat phobia. I'm not the poster child. I'm the fucking canary in the coal mine. Y'all, I really think that these people need to be locked up. And I'm not like talking about jail. Like, I think that these people need somebody to sit with and talk with them. They need to get some things out. They need some rest. What I'm saying is bring back asylums. I'm just kidding. But like, no, I think people need to just like chill. Like, this person seems unwell. I'm the canary in a coal mine. Baby, no, you're not. You probably live in America or in a Western country and you are like probably the most privileged person in, you know, in this group, you know, probably. I don't know. I swear to God, people just don't appreciate actual privilege. Like, they're like, you're thin, you have privilege. Like, no, we all are living in I'm talking about if we live in the United States, you guys, okay? I acknowledge that living in the United States is very, very, we are extremely privileged. And I'm so sorry and embarrassed for anybody who makes you think that, like, who tries to come off that we're being oppressed, because we're not. Most of us are not. Most of us. I'm not saying all. What? I exist on the bleeding edge where I watch the tides come in deeper and more turbulent every fucking day. I wonder what this person looks like. I wear a men's XL. So you're not mid-size. Period. You're not. And I have a BMI in the morbidly obese morbidly obese. Baby girl, you are not mid-size. Baby girl. Morbidly obese. I can shop in straight sizes and got rejected by multiple surgeons for gender-affirming care. I don't need to know weight. Oh, sorry. Baby boy. I don't need to know weight ratings for furniture. I don't need to know weight ratings for furniture, and I have multiple doctors, and I have left multiple doctors because they see me as a before picture first and a human second. Get it? It's time to start listening to the fat activists who have been sounding the alarm for decades, or you're fucking next. You guys, you're not in the trenches. Like, they act like because they're fat, because they love to eat, and because people are acknowledging like, hey, being fat is being obese is not healthy. Being morbidly obese is not healthy. They act like that, like they're going to fucking war. Like they're like, I'm in war. Like in 20 years, if they're still around, they'll be like,
You guys have no idea what I had to go through.
well, like in the 60s, people were actually dying and like marching the streets, but you'll never see obesity people marching and dying in the streets. Like, seriously, shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. I should just call this section Just Shut Up. Shut it up. Just shut up. Fatlogical Friday, Just Shut Up. That's what the title's gonna be. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's healthier for you to just accept that you're gonna be kind of fat than it is to live the rest of your life miserably trying to monitor yourself to maintain a skinny weight your body doesn't even want to hold on to. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. What feels even better is living a life where your self-worth isn't entirely dependent on your thinness and you don't constantly monitor the shame yourself. Attaching the tweet that was worth at least 5 hours of therapy for me. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, olive oil and cheese and pastries can make you a little fat. Yeah, sunshine gives you wrinkles and wine ruins your liver, and spending money on pretty things eats up your savings. But unfortunately, I've decided to enjoy life anyways. I mean, alcohol will ruin your liver, and I don't think that I actually am one of those people who is like maybe drinking twice a year is fine. You don't need to drink every month, baby girl. But that's because I spent most of my life I spent my entire 20s being drunk. So I'm not a fan of alcohol, but if you are, I'm okay with that, you know? Olive oil and cheese, me like, but I am also keto. I can't really have dairy, but I have been having gluten lately, you guys, and I think I'm going to run into a couple problems soon. We'll see. My poor thyroid. Sunshine gives you wrinkles and wine ruins your liver. Okay. But let's go back up to this top part. I don't know who needs to hear this. It's healthier for you to just accept that you're going to be kind of fat than it is to live the rest of your life miserably trying to monitor yourself to maintain a skinny weight on your body that doesn't want to hold on to. Even if you, like, again, I'm one of the, I don't expect everybody, I agree that bodies come in different shapes and sizes. I don't think that, you know, everybody should be, it's a hard ask for in my lifetime. I'm probably going to live to be like, let's say I live to be like 80, maybe. Probably not, because I did a lot of drugs. Let's say I live to be 70. I would love to live to at least 70, right? If until I'm 70 years old, I would love to see, I don't think in my lifetime, so until I'm 70, I don't think in my lifetime we'll ever see the obesity epidemic completely gone. Like, there will still be people who are fat, yada, 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 right? I'm not trying to get a perfect world where everybody is average or less size. You know, what I'm trying to do is like, let's slow down the obesity epidemic. Let's slow down, right? Let's stop. You know, there shouldn't be a size 25 or whatever, a size 26 in the stores, right? Let's lower that size to like maybe the largest size being a size 20, but like an actual size 20, like from the 90s, right? Let's slow down the weight gain. You know, I want to see people. I don't want to see anybody that's bedbound. That's what I would like to see in my lifetime. I'd also like I'd like to see childhood obesity eradicated, and I'd like to see childhood type 2 diabetes in childhood and like non-alcoholic fatty liver in children to be eradicated. Like, that should not exist. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be skinny. What I'm saying is like, I'd like to see the numbers stop rising, right? The fact that childhood obesity has quadrupled since the 90s, that's crazy, right? But like, I'd like to see the numbers stop rising. I'd like to see the epidemic, you know, let's chill on the epidemic, on the obesity rise, right? Even if you are 300 pounds and you could only get down to 250 pounds, I'd be happy if you just didn't gain anymore, right? And it's not hard to maintain, you know, if you just eat the same thing, you know, close to the same thing, same size, you know. What I'm saying is like, we're eating too much too often, and I think that we need to learn how to feed our bodies properly at like the right time. So like, I'm not saying, I'm trying to, how am I going to word this? Like, I don't want to be like, you should fast, but I think that people should understand that like, your body's not supposed to be, and I'm not talking about people with like particular disorders or whatever. If you need to eat every 2 hours, like for your health, please do. So do. I'm talking like a regular schmegular fat American who's fat because they eat all the time. They could skip a meal. I need to make that into a shirt. They could skip a meal, right? I'd just like to see people stop gaining. Stop gaining every year. Just maintain, at least maintain and reverse your insulin resistance and your diabetes, okay? That's the dream. Vote for me, 2028.
The Democratic vote for me is right thing to do.
But yeah, that's the dream. I want to see people stop gaining. I want to see more maintain at least. That's the very least. If you can't lose, maintain and stop gaining, okay? And then reverse your type 2 diabetes, because that's, it's a snowball. It's a snowball. You get type 2 diabetes, all this other stuff happens. Let me put it on the screen for you. You get type 2 diabetes, you raise your risk of getting Alzheimer's, you get kidney disease, blindness, it takes you longer to heal, surgeries are more dangerous. You get a cut on your leg that takes forever to heal. You scar easier because it's taking forever to heal. Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. And obesity in general is just terrible for you as well. And in particular with cancer, like people who are obese have a higher, actually overweight or obese, have a higher chance of getting 13 different types of cancer. Of those cancers, they make up the 40% of cancers that are most popular in the United States. And I had precancerous cells to uterine cancer, and I'm pretty sure it's because I was big fat lady. I feel like there's some hypocrisy here, or a slippery slope. Y'all never have a problem calling some big fat ass bitch. Y'all never have a problem calling someone a big fat ass bitch and telling them to lose weight, but now y'all want to make a stink about people pointing out someone who is visibly unhealthily skinny. Got it. Okay, I'm assuming it is about Ariana, and we're not going to get into Ariana. I think that, that either deserves its own episode, or like, y'all know what's going on, right? I think people defending Ariana and being like, we shouldn't talk about women's body. She's a celebrity who doesn't know you. There is no popularity contest. There's no reason to be like, what are we doing? There's no reason to defend a celebrity. In my opinion, she's a big girl. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I don't trust celebrities. I do not. I'm sorry. I think that Ariana is going through some shit? Absolutely. Like, you can look at her body. Like, who would fucking do this, for PR? I don't know, though. Some people would, maybe. However, if she's not doing this for PR and she's actually going through some shit, which I think that's the higher case, I'm sure there are some people who would do this for PR. I'm not saying Ariana is, but there are some people who would do this and be like, I wonder how many people will come to my concert when they see me healthy. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to go through a health journey, right? I wonder how many sales she's going to get when she gets healthy. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Ariana's doing this at all. I really am not. I actually, like, I know I joke around a lot, but I like, look at her. She is very, very unhealthy, and she looks super sad. Something is going on. But I would love to see her get healthy, and I am happy for her in the future how much sales she's going to get when she does get healthy and people want to see her at her concerts being healthy. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that she's doing this on purpose. I really am not. I know you guys are probably like, Robin, you're just saying that for us to read in between the lines. No, don't read in between the lines. I absolutely believe that she is not doing good. I'm sad for her. What I'm saying is that when she gets healthy, which I know that she will, because I'm just hoping and I'm praying that she gets healthy and help. But when she does get healthy and she has concerts again, she's going to be really rich. Okay? More rich. But anyway, I hate when people defend obesity people. I hate when people defend pandasrexic people. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody needs to just be a healthy size or healthier. Okay? Okay. Calories aren't real and don't matter unless you're in a deficit. Then you are carving and dying. Jesus gucking hell. Of course there would be an anti-fat acceptance. Pal, if you think... Pal, I'm not your pal, guy.
He's not your friend, guy.
Pal. Are they fans of the show? I don't know. If you think I'm reading all of that, you're so wrong. I would say, oh my God, you guys, these guys are crazy. I would say, schmill yourself. But you're already doing that through dieting. Oh my god, these people are so fucking fat. They think that like having a healthy lifestyle is unaliving yourself. Like, be for fucking real, you guys. Their brains, glycation. Two things caught my eye though. Being in a modest calorie deficit isn't carving yourself. I'm sorry to everyone. Okay, it is functionally to your body. Of course it is. It literally is. You're ingesting less than what your body needs to maintain basic functions. No, listen. And I'm not even a calorie counter girl. Okay, I mean I have been paying attention, but just to, it's a range. I'm not like, okay, we're not getting into what I do to lose weight. Okay, clearly I'm not. don't follow what I do to lose weight because it's much slower with me. But it is functionally to your body. Of course it is. It literally is. You're ingesting less than what your body needs to maintain basic functions. No, if you are morbidly obese, you got there eating a surplus. You can afford to lose weight, clearly, but you can afford to like eat less energy because you've got stored calories on your body. You have stored calories on your body. It is not, you are not going to you're not going to lose basic functions because you put yourself in a 500 calorie deficit. Like if you went from, example, somebody who's morbidly obese probably got there eating 4,000 calories a day. You go down to 3,500 calories a day, you're probably going to start losing weight. You're not going to start shitting yourself or go blind because you cut 500 calories out, you dumb fuck. To say that any calorie deficit is carving yourself to say that going over your maintenance is force feeding yourself. I agree. I literally just said that. Okay. That is the dumbest shit ever. No, it doesn't. It means you're eating. Stop. You're fat. This obsession with calories is really stupid as shit and shows you don't know all that much anyway. But no, if you eat a meal that technically puts you over a lot of daily calories, again, stupid ass shit diet culture concept, you are fat. We already know that. But again, this should be up at the other post. Somebody is lying to this person. Someone's lying to this person and being like, calories don't matter. How much you eat doesn't matter. They're like, it just means you ate a good meal. Baby, you're eating good meals every day. Like, what do you mean a good meal? How do you differentiate what a good meal is if you're eating that much all day, every day? Maybe skip a meal. And then you can actually appreciate like, oh, this was a good meal. Some days you just need to eat more food than other days. You can't out a fixed number OB that you're not allowed to go over. I don't know what that, did I not read that right? You can't out a fixed number OB that you're not allowed to go over. I don't know what that means. If somebody explained it to me, maybe I'm sleep deprived. Sorry, the opposite of starvation isn't force feeding, it's eating. No. You are force feeding yourself. You are eating way too much. If you are obese, morbidly, especially, you are overfeeding yourself. Fat phobes are so fucking stupid, probably because their brains don't get enough nutrients because of all the diets. No, my brain is much, I mean, I know I'm not the smartest tool in the shed or whatever the fuck. I know I'm not the brightest tool in the shed, but I feel like my brain is often foggy anyway because of Hashimoto's, but I feel like even with Hashimoto's, I feel a lot more cognitive, like a lot more quick-witted and like cognitive and like interested and wanting to learn and et cetera, than when I was 222 pounds. When I was 222 pounds, I was like, I'm hungry. I was like thinking about food quite a bit. When's my next meal? You know what I mean? Fat phobia, fuck diet culture. Oh, whoa, you're so revolutionary and so punk for hating fat people. Good job. The Nestle Nutri-Scale is probably like a god to you. You know the thing that they made up whole cloth to distract from all the human rights. Oh my god, these people are fucking dumb. Okay. All right, let's read. Oh god. Fat activists fantasizing about hurting others again. Why don't they make nice clothes for fat women? You're not fat, you're beautiful. You're not fat, you're beautiful. You're not fat. Okay, it's people saying you're not fat, you're beautiful, but getting shocked. Scientists are baffled by a plague of minor but extremely painful shocks whenever anyone says, never mind. You had one magic wish you could have used on anything, and this was your choice. No regrets. Okay, then fine. You're fat. You're fat and ugly. Just kidding. But I do kind of understand that. Like, you, just because you're fat doesn't mean that you're ugly. Like, there are people who are beautiful who are fat. There are people who are ugly who are fat, but there are also people who are ugly who are not fat, you know? Ugliness and prettiness comes in different shapes and sizes, and I agree with this, actually. But yeah, they do fantasize about hurting people. I've seen a lot. I mean, I think last week's episode, there was somebody who was like, can we brutally unalive these people? And it was talking about some anti-fat acceptance person, unnamed, but, you know. More word salad. Hey, hi, yeah. So I hear you feel bombarded with skinny talk adjacent shit. It makes you feel miserable and you feel it pulling you into dark places you don't want to go. Here's what I need you to do. Follow more fat people, consume more fat art, engage with fat positive content. Don't give the rest of your time. Block the people who make you feel bad. Curate a space that feeds your spirit. It isn't a perfect solution, but it will help. Love you. So get into an echo chamber. Let's make you more crazy. Let's get you more insane and maybe fatter. I follow all different types of people. My algorithm on Instagram is a little insane. But I do follow, I follow people on weight loss journeys. I follow people on ketogenic journeys. I follow carnivores. I follow vegans. I follow fat acceptance creators. I follow anti-fat acceptance creators. I follow products. You know, my algorithm is so, it's almost perfect. There is a mix of everybody in there, right? Everybody. And I really, really do mean everybody on every political spectrum, on every fat spectrum, on every, you know, mid-size, all that jazz. Because I think it's important to hear both sides of anything, right? So I do follow a lot of fat acceptance creators, but do I follow them because they have interesting things to say? So I follow Alicia McCarville because I actually do appreciate some of her stuff. I think she also has a great sense of style. I think she's funny as well. She's not blatantly fat acceptance, but she is fat acceptance. She's not a fat liberationist, but she does, in a way, stick up for fat people in a way that is inappropriate in my opinion. Like, I'm just like, girl, you're unhealthy. You can't breathe. You need a sleep apnea machine while you're awake. Like, you cannot breathe. But I do appreciate her content. Like, I think she does good content. It's I some of these people that we cover on here, although they are fat acceptance, doesn't mean that I don't think that some of the stuff that they do is entertaining, you know? I think it's I just don't I don't want to run a risk of getting myself into too far of an echo chamber. Like, I know that, like, if I know that this can turn into an echo chamber on itself, you know, on its own. And I just there's a problem with that. Like, I don't think that you should hear the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, definitely, you know, have your fun with anti-fat acceptance, but then also, like, scroll around and, like, look up some recipes, or, like, look up, dude, I have brain dead stuff right now on my algorithm because some people send me some stupid shit. But that's also fun to get into as well. Oh my god, this is my favorite clip of the week. I'm just gonna post it right now. I was dying. You guys, I was crying. I was crying in bed last night when I was watching that. It was so fucking funny. Okay, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sorry. Okay, being a millennial fucked us up so bad. Recovering from mid-size being obese and having actual fat acceptance is fucking crucial. Okay, but mid-size is obese. I mean, mid-size is, I don't know. Let's discuss in the comments below. Do you think that mid-size is obese? Because I'm mid-size, but I'm technically obese. Like, I'm a size 10 right now. I am obese. But also, I'm a size 10 in 2026. What would that make me in, like, 2002? When did Jessica Simpson have her day? Okay, so this was from 2009. Let's visit. Okay, so this was from 2009. I was thinking back to 2009 when people were body shaming Jessica Simpson. I went to look up the infamous photo and realized 2009 was a long time ago. People said that I do remember this. People said that she did look fat. And the crazy thing is that she's smaller than I am. Like, this was fat. I'm fat. I don't even think that she's double digits here. I think she's probably, like, what, a size 6? She was a size 4. A US size 4 in 2009. And we thought that was fat. Like the people complaining, like the fat activists in 2026 have no idea. They have no idea how bad it really, really was. And all we want now is to just not have diabetes. Like the pendulum has overswung. The pendulum has overswung. Like, yes, we were obsessed with thinness back then. Yes, we thought Jessica Simpson was fat. Yes, like it was too much. It was like, girl, like any type of fat or untoned body was like unacceptable. But the pendulum has overswung. Now we are finding Tess Holliday to be healthy and like and there's children with fatty liver disease. Like, you guys, let's find it. I want that little Goldilocks. Let's find a little sweet spot. I feel like there was a moment in time where where this was acceptable. This is what we want now. This is what we want now. I would love to be a size 4, right? I don't think I'll ever be a size 4. Maybe though. I already spoken into the destiny, so it's probably not going to happen now, but like pray for me. Pray for me, guys. Pray for me to be overweight. Pray for me to be overweight because I am obese. Skinny motherfuckers always think it's easy to get skinny. Like, it's like, no, it's easy for you because that's your genetics. There are fat people who both work out more and eat less than you. So like, I've said this before, but like the whole genetics thing, genetics load the gun. They do not pull the trigger. You are eating way too much too often, and you can work out as much as an Olympic athlete. But if you are eating like an asshole and eating too much and too often, you're going to stay fat. Because one, I mean, calories they do exist. If you're eating too much energy, and you're not working off that energy, yeah, you will get fat. You will get fat. But also, a lot of people don't understand that not every calorie is the same. So like calories from fat plus calories from carbohydrates, those are going to do two different things to your body. And I feel like not only are we in an obesity epidemic, I think we do have an insulin resistance thing going on in this country that's like an epidemic almost. And there's not a lot of education surrounding carbohydrates and like what they do to your body, especially when you're insulin resistant. But if you're insulin resistant, you eat a carbohydrate, that sugar is going to float around a little bit too long in your body and then eventually store as fat, because the insulin is a fat storage hormone. And like, so when you eat carbs, it puts sugar into your bloodstream, but when you're insulin resistant, your cells don't like respond or open up to that insulin to like push the sugar into like the muscle or into the cell and give you energy. And then your body tries to make more and more insulin until those cells respond, because insulin is anabolic, or what's the word? There's a new word for it now. It's insulin is a storing hormone. Your body it helps you store fat. It is. When you're insulin resistant, you have higher levels of insulin in your body like stores energy rather than uses it. So I'll put something here.
Insulin resistance can promote fat gain because insulin is an anabolic hormone that signals the body to store energy, including fat, and suppresses fat breakdown. When you're insulin resistant, your body often produces more insulin to keep blood glucose under control, which can mean more frequent or prolonged insulin signaling, which means more fat storage.
Okay, but back to that. So your genetics, there are fat people who both work out and eat less than you. Probably no, you don't. Okay, so I don't know. A lot of people are like, I don't eat anything. Like, maybe you feel like you don't eat anything, but you probably do. Or even still, like maybe there is something wrong. Maybe you do have insulin resistance and you're not realizing that you're eating food that's making you store fat, right? Or maybe you have Hashimoto's and it's just like your metabolism is slower. And if that's the case, then you need to adjust and eat the amount of calories that works best for your body, or eat things that work best for your thyroid or for your PCOS or yada yada yada, right? You have to eat a diet. Like, people just think like, that's why the whole, I mean, I get calories in, calories out, but like if you've got metabolic issues, like that's too simple to me, in my opinion. It really is. Like, if you've got metabolic issues, you got to figure out what you need to eat. Like, what is the actual food groups that work best for your body? And that's all I'm gonna say, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, they think it's easy because that's their normal and somehow attribute their being thin their whole lives to them having discipline, maintaining. No, I don't think that people who are naturally thin think that it's like a discipline thing. I think it actually just like they started young knowing like how much to eat and what to eat and yada yada yada, right? Maybe they had parents that actually loved them. Just kidding. But no, I don't think that. I think it comes naturally. I think naturally thin people actually just have it just is like breathing. eating healthy and staying active just comes naturally to them. You know what I mean? I think everybody can fall. I mean, there are people who have been naturally thin their entire life, and then all of a sudden they, something happens to them and they just start binge eating. Like, I don't think that there's people who are naturally thin, just like genetically naturally thin. I think they just have like the lifestyle that just comes to them naturally, like breathing. But anybody can become obese, you know? If you're naturally thin, you can still become obese. You just have to, it would just be a choice, which it is a choice. I mean, you make the choices every day. But I mean, if you're naturally thin and you wanted to be obese, you'd have to make that choice to become obese. I don't know if I'm making any sense there. Maintaining what you always had does not equate to discipline. It equates to being, again, I don't think that they're like, I'm disciplined, that's why I'm naturally thin. It's just like, again, it's natural. They like natural habits. Like it comes to them as easy as breathing because they've been doing it their whole life. It equates to being set up with good habits from childhood versus being neglected, and genetics from parents who don't stack on weight from looking at a pizza. If you are, and I say this too, like I can look at a cookie and I can gain 5 pounds. Like sometimes it does feel like that. If you feel like that and you feel like you are eating healthy and you have good habits and you still feel like that, you probably have metabolic syndrome or something. Like you should get checked out. You should get checked out. Oh, I forgot my pop filter. I hope this hasn't been popping this entire time. Sorry, guys. The last 5 minutes. Okay, skinny, one more, and then we're gonna call it a day, okay? Skinny people just don't get it. Fat phobes are wild, man. Oh, this is that post from up front. Okay, or from up top. I'm not trying to seem rude, but I generally don't understand the hate for GLP-1s. Like, I know the health effects and that are bad, but is it not for the most part a personal choice? Okay, would you say the same about using heroin for weight loss? Well, no, because heroin is addictive, but isn't that a personal choice as well? Oh, God, it feels like such a reach. I'm not trying to seem rude, but I generally don't understand the hate for GLP-1s. Like, I know the health effects and that are bad, but it's not, for the most part, a personal choice. Yeah, it is a personal choice. I don't like where this other person is going, though, comparing using GLP-1 to, like, using heroin for weight loss. And we'll be honest, you guys, when I was younger, I did use hard drugs for weight loss reasons when I was going through some crazy shit, you know? It was an anything, let's do anything I can to be skinnier. But that's trauma for you, am I right? So comparing using GLP-1s to like using heroin just feels really weird for me. And then also, isn't that a personal choice? Yeah, I guess if you are addicted to heroin, the minute that you pick up, that is a personal choice. But as soon as like the drug hits your bloodstream, then you are like overtaken. You know what I mean? Like, I know it is a choice was it a choice for me? Absolutely. I know it is a choice to do drugs, but if you have addiction, once like with alcohol, once it hits the lips and it's like, this isn't a choice anymore. It feels like that. I'm not sure. People have many opinions on addiction, and it depends on where you've been in addiction or how addiction has affected you and all that jazz. Like personally, I know the aid effects are bad. Okay, I know the side. Okay, gosh, y'all, proofread. I know the side effects are bad, but it's a personal choice. Except for the thing I personally don't agree with, the side effects are too bad. There's a reason being skinny is called heroin chic. That's why I brought it up. And essentially, heroin is also a misused medication. I don't think it's been a medication since like Tombstone.
I'm your huckleberry.
So why make a difference? Oh, right, because fat people are gross and shouldn't exist. # personal choice. What the fuck? Every decade or so, there's some new miracle weight loss drug that's a miracle, wonderful and amazing and great. And every single time it turns out that wreaks havoc on the body and kills you in an unimaginably painful way. I will actually agree with that. Like, there are things like phentermine was so great, right? And it was effective and people weren't eating and yada, yada, yada. But then like people were having heart attacks and shit, right? GLP-1s, a lot of the times, especially in an age of social media where we see a lot of positive and happy lives on the internet, we don't really hear about the bad stuff that happens. And like, let's be honest, like there have been some bad things that happen on GLP-1. I feel like the positive effects are more common than the negative effects, but I have heard people, there's the gastroparesis has been terrible for some people. And I'm not trying to scaremonger or fearmonger anybody out of getting this. Like, it is a life-saving medication, I think. There are people who are, like, doing wonderfully on it. But There have been people who gastroparesis has been an issue. What was another one? Depression. I think there are a lot of people who are getting like crazy depression spells on medication and like having to get off of it early. And I don't know, let me know in the comments below what other, if you've heard anything else, but those are the most that I've heard. It's just like the stomach issues and then the mental health issues with it. And the next drug that comes along and everything is forgotten. Okay, so then the next drug comes along and everything is forgotten. We already know that GLP-1 used for weight loss is horrendously dangerous and deadly. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's horrendously dangerous and deadly. I would say that it has risks, just like any medication has risks. Even metformin. Metformin has been prescribed, I think, since like, I want to say like the 50s or something like that. A long time. And there's still risks with that, you know? There's risks with any medication. But there's also a ton of risks and deadliness that comes along with being obese. So you have to outweigh the pros and the cons. What's better, being obese or maybe possibly getting a little sad on the GLP-1 or getting deadly depressed or getting gastroparesis? Like, what are the odds that you're going to get type 2 diabetes when you're obese and treating it with, and what's better? Would you rather be type 2 diabetes or maybe get the risk of like gastroparesis, which has been rare? What's the percentage of people with gastroparesis with GLP-1? Okay, is GLP caused gastroparesis a chronic condition? This is from nationaljewish.org. The overall risk also seems to be low. Studies have shown rates of less than 2% with gastroparesis side effects. So 2%. So, okay, obesity is linked to 30% to 53% of all type 2 diabetes diagnoses. So, 2% chance of getting gastroparesis, but you fix obesity, or you can stay obese and have a 50% chance of getting type 2 diabetes. What would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. If I couldn't absolutely do anything to control my obesity and I was being offered GLP-1 medication, I would do it. I would also do the weight loss medication. There's risks with that, or weight loss surgery. There's risks with that as well. But I mean, like, obesity is a problem, and I'm never gonna not say that. Every decade, and then this whole thing, like, fat people are gross and shouldn't exist. No, we're not saying that you shouldn't exist. You're still the same person. Your body is just too big. You're still going to be the same person. You are just overweight and obese and you're unhealthy and we want you to live long. Okay? What's wrong with that? Sometimes I just hate skinny people. They do not get it. Okay. Fat phobia event to be deleted. All right. Well, it wasn't deleted and it was on the Fat Logic Friday of the Sunny Side Up Gal episode every Friday, hopefully. All right, you guys, we're going to call it. That was very fun. I always have a great time doing Fatlogical Friday with y'all. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think? I'm looking for more creators, like singular creators to cover on the Chanel. So let me know below. Is there anybody in particular that you'd like to see me cover and chit and chat and talk a little trash with? Other than that, if you made it all the way to the end, please leave a cactus in the comments below because I was thinking about Arizona today. Actually, I mentioned Tombstone, so maybe that's why. Leave a cactus in the comments below because me love the desert. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye. And then hold on, I gotta take this toy away. So sorry, it's over.